Thank you, Senator Durazo, our acting chair, and colleagues. I'm pleased to present SB 868, sponsored by the California Teachers Association, the California Retired Teachers Association, the Association of California Administrators, Delta Kappa Gamma California, and the California Federation of Teachers, with support from the California Labor Federation, AFL-CIO, the California State Teachers Retirement System, and more. SB 868 will ensure equity and stability for California's oldest retired teachers and educators in general. Teachers in the California State Teachers Retirement System who retired before 1999 receive comparatively less benefits than their peers who retired in the early 2000s or thereafter. Compounding this, these retirees, overwhelmingly women, have been disproportionately impacted by tremendous financial hardships, including inflation erosion, which we're seeing once again today, increased healthcare expenses, and widening holes in Medicare coverage. While these retirees are struggling to keep pace with rising inflation and California's complex economy, the Supplemental Benefit Maintenance Account, a special account in CalSTRS that protects retirees from inflation, holds a projected excess of $11.9 billion in funds. SB 868 would equitably distribute excess funds within CalSTRS Supplemental Benefit Maintenance Account to California's oldest retired teachers, those who are most in need. Our educators, those who gave their lives to developing our next generation and equipping students with the skills they need to succeed, deserve respect and security in their retirement, and they deserve to be treated fairly. SB 868 will not only create equity among retirees, it will also draw new teachers to the workforce at a time when they're so desperately needed in our classrooms. Lastly, I'd like to note that the current bill does not reflect recent co-authors. We will amend these new co-authors, and we're proud to have their support. That would include Committee Member Senator Newman and Assembly Member Cooley. I'd like to acknowledge them and thank all of our co-authors on this bill. With me today is Pat Boyd from the California Retired Teachers Association, a member, to speak in support, along with Ed Folia, a retired teacher and member of the California Teachers Association, CTA, and the National Education Association, to also speak in support. Thank you, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Okay, so thank you, Senator. We will now move on to Pat Boyd.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Senator Cortese and committee members. My name is Pat Boyd. I'm a retired teacher with the California Retired Teachers Association. I retired from the Rio Linda School District in 1991 and joined the California State Teachers Retirement System after a total of 38 years of working with children in kindergarten and first grade. Spending time working with the youngest learners was so fulfilling and gave me a sense of purpose. I loved every minute. As a retiree, I enjoy working with other retirees and volunteering in my community through CalRTA. As I grow older, I've seen California change. My community is changing. The state is changing. The world is changing. These changes have impacted the future that I have planned for, particularly the impact my retirement allowance will provide me both now and in the uncertain future. As a retired teacher, I certainly didn't enter this profession to become wealthy, but the fact that I have a little certainty of purchasing power through the CalSTRS Supplemental Benefit Maintenance Account gives me a sense of security that I will be protected from inflation, which is taking more and more of my income. SB 868 will provide retirees like me with a little retirement security by increasing the amount of purchasing power that we receive based on when we retire. For the oldest of us, 80% of whom are women, we could receive up to 100% purchasing power, which could mean we won't have to struggle as much to decide whether we're going to spend our income on medication, rent, or other essentials. Just this year, my Medicare costs went up by 14.9%. How am I, on a fixed income, coupled with having my hard-earned Social Security benefits eliminated by the Social Security offsets, supposed to be able to afford these costs? SB 868 will help retirees like me have a little more peace of mind and more financial independence so that we won't have to rely on our families to get by. So on behalf of the California Retired Teachers Association, I urge you to support California's retired teachers by supporting SB 868. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd, and thank you for being here and taking the time to come in person to be with us. Next, we have Ed Foglia. Did I pronounce that correct, I hope?
Is pronounced folia. The G is silent.
Oh.
It means foliage like in Italian. And now if you say folia, you're now multilingual.
Ed Foglia.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Ed Folia. I'm urging your support today for SB 868, and thank Senator Cortese for carrying this bill to help the CalSTRS members who retired prior to 1999. I'm a retired middle school teacher who began my teaching career in 1957 with a starting salary of $4,200 a year. I retired in 1994 with 35 years of experience, a master's degree, and a salary of $46,400. Many who retired in the 70s and 80s no longer have the financial support to care for their basic needs without SBMA benefit. In some cases, the benefit is more than their basic pensions. During my teaching career, I was elected president of the California Teachers Association. And in 1989, CTA sponsored legislation that established the Supplemental Benefits Maintenance Account. Because of the high inflation rates of the 70s and 80s that negatively impacted our CalSTRS pensioners. Many CalSTRS live longer than any other group of retired Americans. We have 427 retirees over 100 years or older. SB 868 will help 55,424 retirees keep up with the rising cost of living. I am proud that CTA is a sponsor of legislation supporting retired teachers who have made teaching their life's work, and they need the fiscal support in today's economy. I urge an aye vote on SB 868. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Foglia. Now we will move on to anyone wanting to testify in support. And we're going to begin with witnesses here in the room, in room 2200. So if you will come up and
And then we'll
at this point,
go that way to sit down.
at this point, what we'd be asking for is your name and, you know, if you're a retiree, identify yourself, your name and who or how you're associated, and that would be it. We've had our two expert witnesses already speak. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, Susie Dixon, California Retired Teachers Association, President-elect and Government Relations Chair. I support 868.
Thank you very much.
I'm Lana Rose Denon, and I am from Division 67, and I support this bill.
Thank you.
My name is Sherry Beck, and I'm in Division 5 of CalRTA, and I support 686.
Excuse
Or
me,
868.
excuse me, is the division the geographical area?
Yes. Yep.
If you would say what that geographical area, then I think more people would.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Division 5 is in the Sacramento area.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Don Hauser. I'm a member of the California Retired Teachers Association. I'm with Division 75, which is Sacramento Northeast, and I support SB 868.
Thank you very much.
I'm Jeannie Hallenbarter, Division 75, he just mentioned, and I support 868.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Mark Allen. I'm a area director. The area is Golden Gate Bridge to Oregon to the valley. And I sit on the board of CalRTA, and I support this.
Thank you very much.
I'm Bob Gonzalez, Division 83, which is Yolo County, and I definitely support this for all of the people who would really need it.
Thank you very much.
Sandra Barrero on behalf of the California School Employees Association in support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator and members. Tristan Brown of CFT, a union of educators and classified professionals, proud to co-sponsor this bill. Urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck Denon, Board of Directors for Sacramento, Yolo, San Joaquin, Placer, and El Dorado counties. Here when you passed the bill to raise it to 85%, great to go to 100% for those 100 years old. Thank you. We support this bill 100%.
Thank you very much. Seeing no one else here in the hearing room, we'll now move on to witnesses waiting to testify via teleconference service. Moderator, if you would please prompt the individuals waiting to testify in support of SB 868.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to speak in support of SB 868, you may press 1 and then 0 at this time. Once again, if you wish to speak in support of SB 868, you may press 1 and then 0 at this time.
And moderator, if you could give us the total number of people waiting to testify in support?
At this time, we have 4.
If you could please open the lines and call in the support witnesses individually.
Thank you. Line 88, your line is open. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Seth Brambos speaking on behalf of more than 300,000 educators, the members of the California Teachers Association. We are proud to co-sponsor this bill and urge your support.
Thank you.
Line 135, your line is open. Please go ahead.
Martha Zaragoza Diaz, representing Delta Kappa Gamma, California. We're in strong support of the bill.
Thank you very much.
Line 67, your line is open. Please go ahead.
Hello, Chair and members. This is Janice O'Malley with the California Labor Federation in support. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Line 122, your line is open. Please go ahead. Line 122, you may be on mute. Please go ahead. Your line is open. I'm sorry, no response from line 122. We have no further comments in queue at this time.
Okay, thank you. Having heard from all of the supporters, we will now follow the same process and hear from any opposition. Are there any opposition witnesses here in the room? In room 2200? Nope, seeing none. Let's move on to witnesses waiting to testify via teleconference. Moderator, if you would prompt the individuals waiting to testify in opposition of SB 868.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to speak in opposition of SB 868, you may press 1 and then 0 at this time. Once again, if you wish to speak in opposition of SB 868, you may press 1 and then 0. We have no one queued for opposition of SB 868.
Thank you, Moderator. Since there are no more support and or opposition witnesses, we'll now bring the discussion back to the members. If any members wish to ask questions, now's the time.
Madam Chair?
Senator Laird?
Yeah, I have a comment and then a motion. And when I was in the Assembly from 2002 to 2008, I was budget chair, and at that time the 2% cost of living increase was optional, and it had to be adopted every year. And I had one of those things that you dread. I got a letter from my mother that had written across the top, "Is this true?" about not getting the 2%. Because she is a retired kindergarten and first grade teacher who is on STIRS, and she's at that point in her life now where she counts to half birthdays again. So she's at 97 and a half, and hopefully she'll live to be in the 100. But I know exactly how much on a fixed income this really means. And it makes a fundamental difference. And I think the real issue is that the retirement system was really designed where it wasn't totally adequate in a different time. And the mandatory 2% and the locking in the 85% moved it along, but this bill takes it home the way it should be. Because there are really people that gave and have lost purchasing power because of the way it's structured, and this rectifies it. So I think it's a good bill, and I'm pleased to move the bill.
Thank you, Senator Laird. I also want to just make a comment, thank the author, but to thank all of you who took the time to be here in person. It's great. I know it takes more time. It takes more of you to not just call in, but to come in person. And I want to thank you all very much for that. And thank you also for being the educators of our children and our grandchildren, all the generations that you were able to teach. We're very grateful to you, very grateful to all of you for what you've done and for what you continue to do, because I think it's the right thing to do is to say, I did everything I wanted to do, I was supposed to do for the generations that I taught, and now I just want to have some certainty, some economic certainty. So I certainly will also be supporting. We have a motion by Senator Laird. The motion is, I guess the consultant should say this part of it, right? The motion before us? Yes, to close. Oh, I'm sorry. Senator Cortese, close, please. I was closing for you. Just kidding.
You both did a wonderful job of that. I thank you very much for the comments, the excellent discussion. I too want to thank the witnesses who are here today, because they're still educating. They've just done a lot of work on this bill, educating their peers, other retirees, as to what's going on. So I suspect your mom already knows about this, Senator Laird, and you might get another letter thanking you for the motion. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Consultant?
The motion is do pass, but first refer to the Committee on Appropriations. Cortese?
Aye.
Cortese, aye. Ochoa Bogue? Durazo?
Aye.
Durazo, aye. Laird?
Aye.
Laird, aye. Newman?
We will put the bill on call for the remaining members of the committee. Thank you.